Welcome to Single Tree Nation. I'm your man, Charlie Eblin, the host and owner of Single Tree Woodfire Barbecue. We are here to build community through undeniable hospitality, storytelling, and the perfect plate of barbecue. Welcome back to Single Tree Nation, guys. I'm your man, Charlie. As always, we have our illustrious co-host, Mr. Derry Wells.
What
with
is
us.
up, everybody?
What's up? What's up? Welcome back. It's been another week of exciting things.
To put it mildly.
Yes. Yes. So, to start with,
Think more exciting for you.
so
Kick us
yes.
off.
Yeah. So to start with, I have two things I wanted to talk about. Number one, we're walking into the studio tonight. I'm walking in, and there's a food truck out front. Okay, and it says that it has the best char-grilled burgers in Nashville.
Bold claim.
That's a wow. That's a statement. Okay.
It's like we're about to find out.
So I went and bought one.
Of course.
Of course.
The only
Joke's on
logic-
you. It doesn't matter if it's good or not. They already got your money.
So
Yeah, effective marketing. at its
I've
finest.
decided that yeah, the marketing is great. I've decided that if the burger's good, we'll say who it is.
Okay.
If the burger's not good, then we'll
Just
keep that as,
make it
our,
fly
as,
under the
as
radar.
our little
There you
secret.
go. There you go.
You can find the food truck that says they have the best burgers in Nashville, and you can decide for yourself.
For yourself. That's
So,
right.
We're going to cut this bad boy up.
And we are assuming that
Okay.
the fries are just like frozen bought, right? I mean, nobody's actually cutting their own waffle fries, are they?
Yeah, nobody's cutting their own waffle fries. I can't tell you the name of this burger because it would tell you the name of the food truck.
Oh, it's named after itself, huh?
But it is a char-grilled burger, lettuce, tomato, onion, bacon, egg,
A special sauce.
and a special sauce. If I can, we had to gank a knife from the kitchen here. Trent, that's yours.
I'm coming.
And then you had me at egg.
This is a throwback. Is the pharmacy still in existence in Nashville?
I think so. I think so.
They have a burger.
They
that,
have a pretty killer burger.
that it's got fried egg on it. That was the first time I'd ever had it.
So this place has burgers, wings, and Tex-Mex. I got stuck on the burger, so I had to go that direction.
Oh, man.
I can tell you that
The bun's toasted, so I'm good with that.
we lost our logo.
I don't know.
It's all right.
The bun's toasted, so we got a good start there. I like a toasted bun.
I'm a big fan of a toasted bun.
So
I like a waffle fry, an everyday thing for me.
Sure. Same.
But those are pretty good. Got just a little seasoned salt on it. Nothing crazy.
I can buy at the grocery. Nothing great.
We'll
Not
talk-
bad.
We'll
They're
talk
well
more.
cooked.
Yeah, we'll talk more about fries in a little while. But
Okay.
Are we going in?
let's go ahead and dive into this, and we can be like was it Dave Portnoy and
Man, I saw
Dave
it.
Portnoy? One bite? Everybody knows the rules?
One bite challenge.
All
yeah.
right.
I mean, that's solid. That's real solid. I'm not mad at it.
Not even a little bit.
All right, Charlie. Is it the number one?
I'm not upset with a burger. I don't know if I can give it the best burger in Nashville.
It's a good burger, though.
You mentioned
Pharmacy.
the pharmacy. Mm-hmm. It's pretty good.
Pharmacy's up there. For my personal.
Cletus burger. It's a smash burger.
Right, right.
Some people don't like smash burgers. I think for me on this burger, it's not necessarily the burger as much as it is the egg and the sauce.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like
it's,
that.
It's making it.
Yeah, that sauce, that egg and that sauce on there,
They play well.
Is playing. It's got a little kick to it.
Yeah,
Just
it's actually
enough.
delicious. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
good. It's really
Yeah.
good.
It's a really good burger. So
Man.
uh,
Well
Shout
done,
him
y'all.
out. Shout him out.
Shout them out. Yeah, who got? Well done. You want me to run outside?
Forgot the name.
Jada Wings.
Jada Wings. I bet the wings are.
I think it's the name of it.
That's good. I dig it.
Yeah.
I like my egg a little more runny. That's the personal thing, but that was good. It's well done.
I mean, look.
Is that the Jada Wing burger?
Yeah.
Man,
I hope
good.
I'm saying that right.
I like it.
I'm probably getting it wrong.
No, that's fantastic.
But
It's good. I mean, I'd go out and grab that. So, if somebody told me they were close by,
look, I would tell you because of how good this is, I would now try their wings.
There you go. Fair enough.
That's a
That's
solid endorsement.
That's a solid endorsement. Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll
That is
definitely
a
give
good
you that.
burger. Like the actual burger.
It's real
itself is-
tasty.
Yeah.
It's very tasty.
You know, for our one-on-one segments,
Yeah.
this should probably be a thing.
I could support that.
What, just a food truck try or a
Food truck,
food of anything?
restaurant,
Okay.
random. You know, maybe we alternate week to week. I pick one,
Sure.
you pick one.
Sure. We can do that.
You know,
Yeah. I'm going to
still
cheat.
trying to go by Mike's place.
Yeah, I'm going to go to Mike's. That's what I'm going to do.
I've been meaning to.
For sure.
but we've had that one already.
Yeah, but that was good, though. I'm not taking away from any of this, but Mike's was good. Like, that was...
For those of you who didn't watch last week's episode,
Go back.
go back
And then go find
go
Mike's
back
truck.
a week.
Honestly, he was one of the funniest guests we've had.
Bomb me, BOMBMI. Most of the time they're on Old Fort Parkway, right there by Sam's. Go check them out.
Yeah.
So, but pretty good stuff. I'm gonna nibble on them fries for sure.
I'm going to have about 2 or 3 more. They were tasty.
Look, we got a great show today. There's all kinds of things to talk about. For those of you who follow us, we're recording this on the day of our golf tournament.
Let's
go. Right.
With minutes
Round of
wisely.
applause.
Let's go. Well done.
Yeah,
Round of
So-
applause for the whole thing.
yeah.
That was a good tournament.
It was the first golf tournament we had put on as a group.
Minutes wisely.
Minutes
That's
wisely.
really- okay.
Excuse me. And it was absolutely incredible. We had 23 teams sign up
That's wild for an inaugural.
for the inaugural tournament. We thought we were going to have like 10.
Okay. So you
So
did well.
We did really, really well. We had some great sponsorships. I can't name all of them off the top of my head. Jeremy Head killed it. Connor Insurance, Mr. Brews, Chick-fil-A,
Eurostone.
Eurostone was our title sponsor.
Spread the positive.
Spread the positive. I mean, just there was a ton of people
Sure.
that sponsored and gave back. I feel just unbelievably grateful for the community that we're in. The amount of love that was shown for our community today
Sure.
was just absolutely incredible.
Where'd y'all play?
Cedar Crest.
Cedar Crest National.
Trent and I finished tied for third. We were on 2 different teams.
Okay.
I had
Solid
my team.
round.
He had his team.
Nice.
It was a good solid round. We played well, but we got edged out.
It happens.
you know.
Left a few out there. Definitely left
Yeah,
a few out there.
Yeah.
Did you use
But-
all your little
all
your
the
tricks,
shenanigans.
the shenanigans?
All the shenanigans
All
were
right.
utilized properly.
What was great for me was I don't think I've ever played in a golf tournament scramble where we had grenades.
Oh, that's a game changer.
So
Forgive my ignorance. What's a grenade in a golf scramble?
it's an extension of your shot.
Okay.
So if you hit it into something
Sure.
that you don't want to be in,
Right.
you can go pick it up
And
and
throw it.
Throw it.
Okay. There you go. That's fair. Do you have to do the overhead grenade
No.
throw like that? You should. That should be part of it.
That should have been part of the
should be
rule.
part of
yeah.
That's actually really funny.
Especially for a military organization.
Yeah, right.
That's kind of where I thought you was headed with it.
You should have to pull the pin
Yeah.
throw it over your
The whole
head,
9 yards. Yeah.
and somebody on your team video it.
I love it. Yes.
man.
Yes. That's great.
Yeah.
Next year. Now we know.
Now we know.
Somebody
That
write
really
that down.
does change it up quite a bit because there's some
Oh, it really
strategy
does.
to the toss.
Look, I hit one today on a par 4, right next to the green.
Nice.
Tossed it up.
Well done.
It was great, right? The problem was that toss saved us because the grass right next to the green was in one of those little berms that it had grass that was like this tall,
Sure.
so my ball was sitting down.
Right.
Like I almost stepped on my ball to even find it.
Right.
So
You don't want to play out of that.
game changer.
Yeah. There you
Total
go.
game changer.
Did you throw it up and make the putt?
Threw it up to about 3 inches.
Yeah. So that's a 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Was
pretty
that
cool.
number 4? I think we did that on the same hole. Yeah. That's kind of crazy. I know.
It was
did
the
the
look
same-
and not.
Yeah, it was 4. We were sitting kind of pretty, and we are like, should we toss this? If we toss it, it's a 2. And we had a couple left. We're like, yeah. And we like threw it up to like 8 feet and made
Nice.
the putt for a
Yeah.
2. So
Yep. Pretty
well
killer.
utilized.
I've never played a full round of golf.
No?
Come
No.
on, Derry.
I'm not anti it, and here's why: the few times I've gone and hit golf balls, just for that moment, I'm thinking, oh, I could do this all day long, which is, I'm sure, what everybody thinks when they start playing golf. Like, you go to the driving range, you're just crushing them, right? And then you go out there and actually try to play where you're not just launching them. And then all of a sudden you realize, wait a minute, I'm not a golfer.
You know what's funny? You say that. That happened to me today, this morning.
Okay.
I went
good
to the
on the
range
range.
and was like, ooh.
Just piss
Just
missiles, huh? Just
stripe-
gone.
yeah.
Just-
Striping them.
I was like, you know what?
It's going to be a good
I'm
day.
back. My shoulder's fine.
These some bitches are in trouble. And then we teed off.
Then they put grass in front of you and put a slope in and a sand bunker, and there you go.
And I was done.
That's hilarious.
Look, I bring it all up just because I'm super. I'm just proud of the people in this community
Yeah.
for getting behind an organization that is just such an incredible organization with Minutes Wisely and helping with the prevention of veteran suicide. I don't believe there's enough people in this country that do enough for veterans
There's not.
in general. So to walk out there this morning and, you know, we just started talking about this event and trying to put it together 6 months ago.
Right.
And
I'm. Can I say one thing?
Yeah, of
There
course.
was a time where I was pretty worried. Full disclosure.
Okay, cool.
I mean, not worried, but I was a little. I'm like, okay, we got.
Because y'all are both on the board, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We there was a little window there. I'm like, we something needs to, and I got to give a shout out to my guy George Simpson is a
he killed it.
he is, man. He's done it a million times for the home builders and a bunch of other, like, he's been on a bunch of these, and I was just kind of waiting for it to happen, to be honest, because I'm like, just let G get involved. Like he does it in his sleep, kind of. So once that kind of took shape, it was just, I feel like it really kind of just
Look,
went
and
to another level.
I'll be even more transparent. I was nervous this morning.
Oh,
Me too. Yeah. Not
mean,
really, honestly.
Well,
not
I didn't get to go to last month's meeting.
okay.
I had other meetings that I had to
That was
attend,
a
and I couldn't-
solidifier.
and
Yeah, that
I
was-
couldn't go to it. So,
Yeah.
you didn't see all those fine details come
so I
play.
didn't see the end. I didn't see the end result.
Right.
Yeah.
3 weeks ago when
Right.
we had a meeting
G was on it.
that was talking about all of it.
Right.
So I was really worried. So we had a meeting last night, and I was like, okay, well, it sounds like we're on
Yeah.
track.
Right.
But to see it all come together this morning, I mean, George
was
killed it.
Great day for it, weather-wise.
Oh,
Weather was
perfect.
weather was perfect.
Perfect.
24 hours later, y'all may have had a different story.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
Yeah. Seriously. One
it's
day
going to rain
different.
tomorrow. So that's also. Do y'all have a final total on what y'all raised or ballpark?
I don't.
Okay.
I
We exceeded,
taking a.
exceeded the goal, I think.
Okay. Well, there's the positive.
Yeah.
If you exceeded the goal.
If
So-
I was taking a guess,
I'd say we cleared 5+,
Nice.
which is
if I was taking a shot in the dark, I would say we're close to $8,000.
yeah.
Nice. Well done.
That's
good
for the first one.
First one,
That's damn good,
and that's it. I mean, Fleek was in here and like just awesome. That's the first time I'd met him.
Cammy, get down.
Fantastic, just as an opportunity to see him, meet him, but really see where his heart is for this organization. Like you said, there's not enough anything that's veteran based.
Yeah.
I saw a statistic over the weekend. I think it was, and I may be wrong about this. I'm going to be in the right ballpark. 76,000 veterans in Tennessee. And like, right. So you're looking at, I mean, that's just a wild number when you consider how many of those guys still need a hand. How many of those guys still need a shot of encouragement? Not necessarily like a financial hand or anything. Some guys just need somebody to talk to, need the emotional help. And it is just, it's impressive that for a group like you guys to be able to be out there and do that and pass that along. So
one of my favorite things about this golf tournament that we did was, and the organization in general, is we've taken it and it's not just veterans.
Right.
It's first responders, it's police officers, it's EMTs, it's firefighters, it's
Gold Star
veterans,
families.
and then Gold Star families.
Yeah.
So this golf tournament was dedicated to a Corporal Diaz.
Okay.
Okay. I think, how many years ago did he pass?
I think 20. I think it's 20 on the dot this year.
So right in and around 20 years ago, he was in Afghanistan and passed away. Fleek, being the patriot that he is very active on anything that has to do with anything patriotic, military, etc. He got into an argument on Facebook about a Memorial Day parade in Michigan.
Or having one here.
Oh, having one here, yeah. That's right.
Okay.
Excuse me. So in doing so, that argument turned into a conversation, which turned into a friendship, which got Brittany Diaz, Corporal Diaz's wife.
Sure.
Amber.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said Brittany.
It's all good.
Got Amber involved and got her involved in our organization.
Right.
So this tournament was all about her.
Well, yeah,
And-
to honor Corporal Diaz.
Corporal
Yeah.
Diaz.
It
right?
went from
So-
being the Minutes Wisely
Yeah.
inaugural tournament to the Corporal Diaz.
Yeah, so
Nice.
to
Nice.
take it from just about Minutes Wisely and trying to raise money to be able to give back, now we've taken this to be something that was honoring one of our fallen soldiers and her. as
So
being
there is
part of the
something
Gold
good
Star
that comes from
family.
a Facebook argument. every now
Right,
and then.
like that might be the biggest moral. Well,
That's it.
Might be
Well-
one of the biggest morals to the story.
It's one of
The
the
fact
things
that
I
he took
talk
the
about
time, yeah.
that I
Shouts
talk
to
about all the
Flake for
time.
doing that, man.
is we have such a hard time with somebody disagreeing with us. Man. Right? So the debate was yesterday.
Yeah.
Right? And how many memes and arguments
That was
and,
all my Facebook feed.
and slights
annoying.
and snaps and just shots at people all day long. That's all. I mean, I haven't had a lot of time to be on social today because we've been doing this event. But
Right.
my whole point behind all of it is I don't care if you're on the left, I don't care if you're on the right, it doesn't really make a difference to me. If you have an argument, let's talk about it.
Conversation.
And if we can disagree, great. Great things come from disagreement.
100%.
Right? We don't
100%.
have to agree about everything every time.
Here comes my take on that portion of it. Is I literally saw people who were like, if you don't like XYZ, you need to unfriend me.
yeah, that's so stupid.
Like how short-sighted can you be that you are letting someone who doesn't even know you exist, first of all, be so specific to say that you were ending a relationship and or friendship and or whatever because of a true opinion. So then I back it up to the other side of things. And like you said, have a discussion. I've got a handful of friends who will probably first to next week shoot me a text. What'd you think? not much. No minds were changed last night, that kind of thing. But there will be a discussion. And one thing that we all say to each other, I'm glad that I can discuss this with you.
Yeah, right.
Because I don't have to go through the argument of everything. Now, are you going to change my mind? Probably not. Am I going to change yours? Not even looking to. But what we are doing, though, is having a civil discourse to where ideas can be brought to the table. And you know what I have found with the majority of my friends? We are much closer aligned than what the world wants you to believe. Everybody wants you to say it's got to be the extremities.
Yep.
And that's just not it.
Nope.
And I'm so tired of everybody framing it like that, because what I'm not going to do is lose a friend over a politician.
Absolutely.
That is ridiculous. And the fact that people chalk it up to that. Now, if you are being blatant, I will say this. Now, if you're coming at me personally, you are a XYZ for liking XYZ person, hang on. Like you've made it personal now. Let's take a step back. But careful with the broad generalities, right? Don't paint with a broad brush.
Yeah, my biggest problem with that is simply you got friends that I don't get along with.
Right.
And I got friends you don't get along with.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
That's why they're my friends.
Right. But that's 1,000% right. That's why they're your friends.
Yes.
They're not my friends.
That's right.
So I don't care whether you like Trump. I don't care whether you like Kamala, however you say her name. It doesn't matter. I don't care.
I've resorted just saying Harris because I keep screwing her name up.
You do it too?
And I want to be respectful to who the person is, and I don't want to say her name wrong. So for me, it's Harris. We all know who we're talking about, so we can be kind about it.
Strictly on the last name.
See, that's it. That's it. That's it.
It don't make. Yeah.
She is the vice president. She does deserve some respect.
100%.
But
that's
that's the problem today. Is we can't separate the two. Right. And it goes from whether it's politics, whether it's a conversation about a parade, whatever kind of parade it is,
sure,
whether it's Memorial Day, a Veterans Day, a Pride, whatever, it doesn't matter what kind of parade it is. We all have our opinions, but have your opinion and go on about yourself.
Go on. Just keep scrolling.
Yeah,
man, I've gotten so good at that. I've gotten so good. I'm proud of myself. Honestly,
not only have I gotten good at it though. Here's the thing.
I'll type it out and then I'll close the app.
100%. And what I've gotten to the point where
I'm like, you're
never mind. All right,
never mind.
It's not worth it.
But like, I'll see somebody's name pop up, but I guarantee they're the ones that's going to spout off, right? And I will even kind of scroll a little faster just so I don't even see their headline, right? Because I'm just going to keep on doing it, and it just is what it is. But I'm not going to lose friends over people that don't even know I exist. And
that's facts.
I've even tried to go about this with sports more so,
Me
and
too.
not be so distracted. And I'm a huge sports fan. I mean, like, this is my season. You're getting into the best part of baseball. You're going into the playoffs. You've got football starting up, both college and pro. Basketball is getting ready to gear off. Hockey is in full swing. Like, this is a sports lovers
spot.
Like, it's the sweet spot, right?
Yeah.
It is all of it right now. And I'm just trying not to get us distracted.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to catch a game, don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to let whatever outcome of game ruin my day.
Yeah.
And B, if you come at me with well, you're so-and-so team, yeah, you're right. They stunk. Good.
Oh, man.
You got anything better to offer me? Because I'm not going to shrink down to this level. And that is just, that's where I'm at.
I started doing that same thing probably about, at this point, it's probably been 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Good for you.
Good for you.
Wish I'd been earlier on that train. So.
But the sports
10 years
side.
ago. I was
I caught
Now, I am a diehard UT fan. Okay. University of Tennessee, I grew up watching everything they do.
Right.
And bleeding orange. I mean, I got orange and white shoes on right now. It's because of toast. But on Saturdays, it's for UT.
Right.
All right. But the point, I'm walking through Walmart. So do you remember the Alabama-Auburn game that Saban said we need one more 2 seconds on the clock? And they kicked it.
The kick six? Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they kicked it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and Auburn ran it back
The kick six
and
is
won the game,
an iconic game.
right?
That's
But it's
so
all
crazy.
because Saban said we need one more second on the
Yeah.
clock. May of the following year, I'm walking through Walmart. At this point in time, we live in Alabama.
Oh boy.
And I see a guy in University of Alabama t-shirt, and I see another guy in an Auburn t-shirt. And they are in the middle of an aisle
Oh, please don't.
Oh no.
yelling
Of course they are.
at the top of their lungs
Of course.
about that game.
Oh man.
That may speak more about the state of Alabama than it does Alabama Auburn football. But
Yes. You're not wrong.
I know
No.
that, but
But that experience
you saw it out in front of you.
You're like, it's so dumb.
in real life,
Yeah.
IRL,
Yeah.
in real life,
IRL.
caused me to go,
What the heck?
it's not that deep.
It's not.
It's really not.
It's not.
Now,
Oh man.
with the University of Tennessee sucking so bad for the last 30 years, hadn't
It's
been
only
that long, but
18. But anyway.
right.
98
I
was
got you.
Right. No, the early 2000s, they had a roll in there. Just
they won
but
6 games.
like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. They broke 500.
We got to a bowl. But that itself has just, I mean, like, it's not that bad.
It's not
so
that
it's
bad.
just kind of calmed me down a lot.
And what it's done for me is it allows you to enjoy when you have the fun part. Like I'm like, and it's a fun football game to watch right now. Let's be honest. Like it really is.
Y'all
right?
are legit.
Yeah.
And
Don't want to bring up my wolf
Nico's
pack,
probably
yo.
going. I wasn't going to do it. That's
love, that's love.
See, Nico's probably going to go play on Sundays.
Oh, hell
I mean,
yeah.
he's just
He's the real deal.
right. And so
Has a red shirt,
Right.
doing what he's doing, yeah.
But what I've done is, if because they're going to come out and have one of those volunteer games and do something that cost them a game somewhere, and I'm just gonna be like, yep, all right. And I'm not. It's not going to ruin my Friday. It's not going to ruin my Saturday,
That's good.
or Sunday, whatever. You know, it's just like because I'm not going to give it the time. I enjoy it for what it is. It's entertainment value, and then move on. Because if I'm letting that impact my life,
I needed
because
that.
as much as I like Josh Heupel, he don't know I exist, and he's not going to give me time today. But I think now I need to reach out to him, and put him on the show. Let's let him know I exist. So, but anyhow,
What's the worst that can happen?
He might say
Bobby.
no, which he's already said if I don't ask. So
Yeah.
anyhow,
I mean, if he can't do it until January, that's fine.
hey, I got time in January. I can put him off till February.
We can wait until the season's completely over. It's fine.
Yeah, March. He ain't doing that in March, is he?
Shouldn't be.
When's spring football?
I mean,
Like,
What do
just
you
a
think
D1
Josh
football
Heupel
coach.
does for fun?
what do I think he does for fun? Man, he's playing horseshoes and like,
Is he
Yeah.
hunting?
and he's
Yeah,
he's low key guy.
Yeah, no,
I don't know.
I think he's a Bush Light, horseshoes, and a dip kind of fella.
Yeah, I mean, I guarantee you, there's nothing
Yeah.
that he does which causes
Yeah.
his blood pressure to go up. Like
Yeah.
he's not going fit. He may fish, but he's not getting worked up if he doesn't catch something. He's just glad to be on the water, right? Like he's just like that guy.
That's a great
Because
way to
he doesn't like.
He's the dude that goes hunting without a gun.
Right.
He just goes.
I thought y'all was bringing one, you know. So that's,
I'm just gonna sit in the deer
I'm
stand.
just
it.
going to sit in the deer stand.
that's it. What'd you bring for fishing bait? Oh, I just brought a pole. Like, let's just,
Yeah, in my fingers.
that's
Bro,
right.
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So
Can I make
could-
one little? He looks like a grown-up Bobby Hill.
Oh man,
Is
I wish
that
you hadn't given me
unnecessary?
that. No, that's fantastic. I
Have
just
you-
wish
no
I
one's
hadn't
ever-
seen it. Because now that's what I'm gonna see every time he does that funny grin on the sideline. I'm like, damn it,
No
Bobby.
one's-
Like, that's-
No one's
Bobby.
ever brought that to you.
no, I've never had that pointed out to me.
That's a good one.
But those are
a
some
good
of my favorite memes on the internet. The Vols by 50, like,
Bobby.
it's like because it'll be like it don't matter, you know, just this,
Oh, yeah.
this cigarette butts in the trash can, but it don't matter. Balls by 50, like
Yeah.
it's just
It's funny.
there's some creative people out there, man. So
Well, would you like to start the show now?
sure, why
Hey,
not? I think
feel like
we're on a roll. We're on a roll.
This is an authentic show. For
It
me.
is.
This is
is
a
from
true
the heart.
authentic show. So, look, I'll let you. Since we're way off course, I'll let you.
You let me reel it in.
You can
Reel it in.
dive in where you want to dive in.
All right.
So,
I'm gonna go then. This is episode number 45.
Oh,
And which, God, we are getting so close. Like it's wild that we are just rolling through these. We've had a great stretch of guests here the past 3, 4, 5 weeks.
Yeah.
They've been awesome.
And they have been awesome.
Killer.
And I've been trying to go back and pick out a favorite and they all bring such unique qualities that it's hard to say so and so was better than so and so. But it's been a great stretch here.
Look,
And
I don't think we've had a bad guest.
No.
I think there's been some guests that were a little bit more lively.
Sure. Yeah.
Right?
Well, part of that's just personality.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Have stronger personalities is probably the better word.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I will tell you that I can't think. I can't. DoorDash for the rescue.
He's already got the Taco Bell cup out.
I
Look,
know,
there it
I
is.
know,
Like,
I
I saw
know.
it.
I brought that just for you.
I
Do all your other podcasters, are they aware of the Taco Bell cup?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
Well, the ones after 5:30.
It's 5 o'clock. somewhere.
Podcast after hours. Like
Yeah.
that.
It's a new show.
That's hilarious. Yeah. But
yeah,
45.
I think they've all been incredible in their own different ways.
And we've grown.
Yeah.
I can go back and watch me early on, and I'm like, boy, you sucked.
No.
I was but no, just
I
as a
hate
personal.
that, though.
But no.
know.
I don't mean it
Personal
negatively.
growth, I get it.
I'm talking about like you can just tell I have developed.
Yeah.
And,
It's cadence,
and gotten
man.
better,
It's flow.
and you learn what the media is. It's not just talking to a microphone as much as you want to think it is, and I mean
Right.
it is, but it's not, right?
Yeah.
So
100%.
but episode 45. So we had our little theme a few weeks ago where we were running with the jerseys, and there's 2 45s that really popped out to me, and I'm sure there's others. I'm not taking away. There's
Okay.
actually a really long list, but there's 2 to me that are just they're iconic for different reasons, and they're both baseball players. Ironically, Pedro Martinez,
Yep.
just because he had the
That dude he was so good.
IDGAF just comes to mind with him. He didn't care what you thought, what you said. He was just doing Pedro stuff, right? But the other 45 baseball player, Birmingham Barons, Michael Jordan.
How did I know?
didn't see it
How did I know?
Oh, yeah.
Probably because that's the only one that I could think
That's
of.
right, exactly. He
Yeah.
did wear it for a season with the Bulls, his first season back. So
Yeah, that's true.
Who was
yeah.
who was it Nick Anderson? I think it was Nick Anderson.
was it?
I'm pretty sure it was Nick Anderson. It's like he's not the same at 45.
No.
And then he literally went and put
That's
23
it.
on
And came out,
swept
scorched
them.
them. Yeah, exactly.
And they wanted James.
Like, don't call down the thunder if you don't want it.
Such a bad idea.
Say
Yeah.
that afterwards, like, right? Jeez. Anyway, so since we haven't checked in on you in a while, give me the state of Singletree, man. You got upcoming events. We just talked about Men's Wisely, but you got
Yeah.
upcoming events. Where's Singletree at right now?
We are rocking and rolling,
Yeah.
loving life. School's back in session, so that's it's a restaurant, so it's always
Sure.
that's not me. That's every restaurant in America. When school goes back in, people's lives change. Right? You're not leaving work, rushing to get the kids, rushing to get something to eat, rushing to go to bed, rushing.
Right.
So. When school comes back in, it's more of a weekend business deal than
Sure.
it is throughout the entire week.
Does that give you time to get caught up?
No.
Okay.
It's just a different. We're not.
Man
any,
didn't even hesitate.
Yeah.
No.
No.
That's
It's not. We're not any slower.
sure.
Like sales are not lower than they were. It's
Right.
just how it comes in is different, right? So my to-go sales go up.
Sure. Which makes sense. Everybody wants to eat home, get that time with
Dinner's
family.
much earlier
Sure.
in the evening.
Sure.
Fridays are much busier. Saturdays are spread out. Once football season has started,
Sure.
it's a lot of to go, and I have to watch on when the games are.
Sure.
So, like 2 Saturdays ago, we were not as busy in the morning as we were at night because the Tennessee game was in the morning and MTSU was playing at home in the middle of the afternoon.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then all the rain that we got kind of slowed that down, and everybody came to get something to eat before they went home.
Gotcha.
this last Saturday with Tennessee playing at night, MTSU being away, and Alabama playing in the middle of the day, that made our lunch busier.
Sure.
And then could
Sure.
just kind of steady through the rest of the night.
Gotcha.
So, like, you really have to pay, this time of year, you have to pay more attention to events than.
So if you see Charlie studying a football schedule, it has nothing to do with his betting that he's placing.
Zero. It really doesn't. It's really kind of crazy because I look at on Mondays and Tuesdays, I look at the schedule for Saturday and Sunday, because Sundays I get affected by the Titans when they play at home in the morning.
Right.
If it's in the afternoon or evening, then it doesn't really affect me because I'm closed by the time they even think about it.
Right.
So if it's a dinner game,
Right.
yeah, it doesn't matter.
Well, you kind of
It's just different.
2 questions there because I was going, how do you ride the waves of the seasons? But that's exactly what it is. What is when you're rolling through that, and what's your other, I'm gonna call it, busy part of the year? Is it right there at the beginning of summer? Like, because that's what in my mind what it comes
it's,
to.
Holidays.
There's waves,
Sure.
right? So
Hey, look at that! I read the waves of seasons. Man,
yeah, I mean because
He's
it's
gotten better. He's gotten
I
way
told you.
better.
I told you I've gotten better.
You're learning.
So-
You're learning.
so-
It's so like around Father's Day,
Yeah.
right? We're really starting to pick up because school's getting out. People hadn't really gotten to vacation mode yet, and then we have the actual Father's Day, right? Well, as a dad, and we've talked about this before, where do you want to go eat? You want
Right.
to go get a steak. You want to get some barbecue. You want to grill out. You want to do something along those lines. So, Father's Day is like my Super Bowl.
Sure. Okay.
Except for the Super Bowl, which is
Still the Super Bowl.
which is still the Super Bowl.
Are you allowed to say that?
Technically, no.
Okay.
They have copyrighted the word Super Bowl on any
So silly.
promotional stuff. You can't use NFL. You can't use Super Bowl. I'm pretty
Wait,
sure.
hold on. You can't say we got a Super Bowl special. Like,
Right.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I go out and advertise for the Super Bowl and put it all over my social media, hey, we're doing 50 wings for $50 like we did last year, right?
Yeah.
Come get your Super Bowl special. They can actually sue me
Holy crap.
for copyright infringement.
It's the big
It's the big game, right?
Yeah, so that's what everybody does. So now,
Come
this
get
year
your
in
big game
February, when we
special.
do the Super Bowl, watch, and most 90% of restaurants, anybody that has a CMO that's worth a flip, will not allow them to use Super Bowl.
Okay.
They'll all say, come get your big game special, or come watch the big game here.
Come get your
Whatever.
professional football championship excitement like that.
Right. Yeah. It's
Come get
so
the last
crazy.
game of
But
the
you got to think
professional
about
football season.
Right.
you got to think about from a professional sports standpoint. It's hands down the most watched sporting event
it's not
of
even
the
close.
year,
It's not
right?
even close.
Like, I mean, it's not even, it's
Nothing.
not even remotely close.
Unless you get one of those weird oddities where you've got, like, if the Chiefs played, I don't even know who
No.
now because
Still not even
they're still the
close.
dynasty.
Look, I don't think there was. I think
No, but
there's,
there's some of
more people
those. There's some of those college games that get
Sure.
right up here close. I mean, just
What was the Mr. Google? How many people viewed the Super Bowl last year?
On it. Stat baby.
he got excited.
He did, right? But I mean, if
Must
you
be that Taco Bell cup.
you think about it, you think about like current events.
Yeah.
So we had a presidential debate last night,
Yeah.
right? And I think 10 million, 100,000 people watched that debate. I mean,
Yeah, you ready?
the Super Bowl is more, right?
Yeah. 123.4 according to Google.
Million?
Yep.
And 10 million people watched the debate.
So 12 times the amount.
Yeah.
But you could even do
So-
like a whole NFL or a whole NBA season probably might not get that.
Collectively.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Which is wild. That's,
So, I
that's
mean-
fake news.
So it's a big
But
game.
that's
fake
why
news.
that's why I mean, look, I don't even watch the Super Bowl anymore for the Super Bowl.
That depends who's
I mean,
playing.
I do.
I still do.
I definitely.
I don't.
I definitely do.
My brother will get pissed if the house is loud. But you realize that this is a Super Bowl party,
Super
right?
Bowl party? Yeah.
Like there's going to be people that are out here saying, "Don't care about the game. Pause
for
me
the
when the commercials
halftime."
are on. Otherwise, I won't be over here snacking on chips." Right? So
Look,
Halftime show.
That's what
Right.
I'm saying. Like they watch the halftime show. But I'm not a huge NFL guy. I don't really
Right.
pay much attention to NFL. But I'm a bigger fan of the commercials than I am the game. Most of the time, because I'm a Saints and a Titans fan, and they don't go to the Super Bowl.
No, you're out
Or
of
the
luck.
playoffs, and half the time they don't make it to regular season. They get done after preseason. So, I mean, it's
How are you a Saints fan?
so when I was a kid, Katrina went through New Orleans,
Yeah.
and
When you
You
were a
just had a lot of
kid?
sympathy on those people.
You were a kid?
We were like teenagers, weren't we?
yeah, well, I mean, I was a kid.
Okay.
I mean, I was an older kid.
Okay.
But
When you were young and immature.
so for me, the Saints sucked then. Like they
and
were.
you thought this is the
they
team
were god
I'm
awful.
going to latch on
So,
to.
but listen to me. So Katrina came through and destroyed their stadium, destroyed the city, destroyed everything. Like I mean, it was
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
complete and
It was
utter
awful.
devastation. And then they came back the following year and won the Super Bowl.
They did. That's exactly right.
Right?
They sure did.
So for me, it was
They were on the uptick.
It was-
Breeze has been there for a little bit.
well, whether you're on the
Anyway.
uptick or not, to have that kind of devastation in your life.
It's one of those storybook things.
and to have the grit and the determination to come back and work that hard to
Sure.
be the best team in the country
yeah.
is I just think it's an incredible story. So I just became a Saints fan from the story.
Okay.
And then the more I've seen what Drew Brees does,
Drew Brees.
the
Hard to
more
hate on.
the more I get,
He's top notch.
kind of excited about what he does.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, that's why you want him on the You've been
right.
yeah,
That's
okay.
why I want him on the
Okay.
show.
That's cool.
And then they got a pretty good running back from the University of Tennessee.
That barely got burned. Or he was at Alabama first, wasn't he? In that, I
Kamara?
think he transferred.
Kamara was
Like
Tennessee
they let
the
it,
whole time,
I know.
thought.
Oh, was he? Maybe so.
What I do know is
He didn't get
that
much burn, right?
He didn't get almost anything at UT because
he
that
became
coach
like a-
fumbled that bag so bad.
was that
Yeah.
Butch?
That was Butch, man.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's a brick by brick guy.
golly, brick by brick.
That's
baby.
a brick. You had a brick there.
Oh, man.
Brick by brick is what he did to our team.
5-star
He
heart.
beat them with a brick every day.
Whew, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. Sorry.
Your
I mean-
reference to being a kid, though, when Katrina came through, we were 25. Very good. I was a young kid at 25.
I was in high
so-
school. I went down there and volunteered.
We were younger. I feel
I was like, "You're a kid."
20 years ago, is that long now? Is that hurting?
yeah.
I was in high school. so-
In my looking up 45 for jerseys, it was like, is 45 a birthday milestone? And it was like, many people have done this and this and this in their life. I'm like, God, I'm behind. Like, I better start doing something.
Comparisons to
I
thief of
figure this
joy.
shit out. 'cause
Oh gosh.
I ain't nowhere near where I need to be by any means.
That checklist has got 12 items on it. And I ain't got but 3 of them done. So,
yeah.
oh geez.
Look, I'm just happy I can brush my teeth by
Hey,
myself.
comparisons to thief of joy.
That's it. Yeah, I've always liked that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm going to turn a serious note for a moment.
Let's go.
Self-honesty.
Ooh,
Just being like, it's both the groans, right?
being honest with yourself.
What's lacking there for most people, and what I put under that kind of in parentheses is it just that we don't want to hear the negative?
Honestly, I think people have a self persona of themselves, right? Like they believe they are better, more, worth more, et cetera, than what they truly are. And it's hard. I think it's hard for anyone to. We were just literally just talking about it, right? There's 12 items on this checklist that most people are at, and I've only hit 3 of them. And Trent said comparison is the thief of all joy, which he is 1,000% correct. I'm 44 years old and just started my business,
Right.
right? And I see
That was
other,
one of them that said you're settled in your career, and I chuckled.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
You
And
are though.
And I just started.
You.
Yeah, that was one of the three.
good.
Yeah, I did
Okay.
get that
I was
one.
about to say. I didn't check that box. Sorry, I was like, man,
Not me.
Thanks, Trent.
No, in a good way, man. And salute to the mother effing teachers.
I've
Seriously,
stayed in the
thank
same industry.
Yeah.
I'm settled in the
Well,
industry, right?
and an industry with lots of turnover and
yeah.
volatility.
The hard-
Yeah, it's
Hardest one.
tough.
So-
It's tough.
It's
But
the
I mean,
hardest.
look, it's nobody. I don't know many people that can wake up and look in the mirror and go, I need to do X, Y, and Z to be a better person, to be a better husband, to be a better father, to be a better businessman, to be a better member of my community. I mean, there's 1,000 things that you
Right.
can list, right? And not only are there most people can't do that, how many people even think to want to do that? Right? I mean, how many people wake up and go, all right, I want to be better today.
Right.
I mean, if we could take 10 million people that watched the debate last night and get them to just wake up today and want to be a better person, how much better would this world be?
Right. Right.
Oh, that's a great question. Or yeah, that's good.
And that is such a that grows so exponentially.
Exactly.
That if
Yeah.
you have one person do one thing,
That's it.
and then 2, and then 4, and then so if you start with a huge number like that, like that's going to be a huge growth.
Fleet.
But-
Instead of being mad about it, instead of blaming
Do something.
the other side or the
other thing.
or the other thing,
100, and that's where I was going
that
to go with
doesn't
it.
affect you.
So much of what, and this is the reason I put the self in there instead of personal honesty with self honesty. We're so scared of what self really needs,
It's really hard for you to be honest with you.
but which goes into you need a circle, like you need somebody that's going to hold you accountable. But then, great thing for me, I mean, this is an accountability note for myself. The last time I went to the gym before Monday was about 2.5 months ago. And I just, and it's one of those things I've told myself 40 times, right? Man, I need to do this. Man, I need to do this. I even had people, hey, did I see you up there last week? No. You know, like, and you got to roll your eyes because you know you didn't see it because you weren't there, right? And I walked back in there and it was not what I wanted to face. The guy, like the front desk has changed. They make you tag in now a little differently. And what I was like, God, like I didn't need y'all to go through changes while I was away, right? And so, but right,
No,
the point,
I'm saying.
No.
I mean from your POV,
yeah,
you're like,
but the
can't
point,
change that much.
right? Yeah, but the point for me was that it was I knew those things the whole time. I need to go back. I need to go back. I need to go back.
Yeah.
And I never just made myself. And it wasn't trying to avoid the negative. It wasn't that I didn't hear that voice in my head because I knew. We just are so worried about keeping ourselves in check because we feel like we're always putting on that front. What if somebody sees me vulnerable? And
Yeah.
I'm starting to cross a blurry line for myself of is that a man thing or is that just a person thing? Because I don't want to be
human thing.
deemed as vulnerable because
human.
I'm trying to be a good dad. I'm trying to be a good teacher. I'm trying to be a good husband. I'm trying to be a good, fill in the blank. And when I get to that list of all those things I've done good or I'm even trying to do good at, who's Derry at the bottom of that? And am I in touch with him enough to know what's really going on to be able to say, hey, you got to do this for self. And so
I have found
Bringing the heat.
my wife is amazing. She's incredibly
she's talented.
gifted at
Making t-shirts.
that she is. But she's incredibly gifted in holding me accountable
Sure.
to things. And some of the things that I have found, especially recently, is when she says things to me recently, it's been, and I've gotten upset about it. I'm not even upset with her. She said it,
Don't shoot the messenger.
Yeah.
but it was a message that I needed to hear.
Yep.
And I've been upset not with her but myself.
That's it.
Now I may have lashed out.
Yep.
I may have retaliated in a way that I shouldn't have or should have, whatever.
Right.
But it's amazing how when you open up that book of introspectiveness, you can grow so much
Right.
very, very quickly.
I told my wife the other day, I said, one thing that I really appreciate about her is that she's not pushy, but she encourages me. And she gave me like a most sideways look. She goes, "You don't think I'm pushy?" I was like, "No." She goes, "I think I'm pushy all the time." I was like, "You keep that perspective, but no, you're not." And so, but what I found for me is it's those little nudges.
Oh,
and she's got a certain gentleness about how she does it. But she also has that certain time she knows not to be gentle. Like it's just blunt and like, here it is.
Yeah.
And again, though, I've had to be cautious because I want to lash out, but the person I'm frustrated with is me. And that's a challenge to step into and say, hey, you know, take on this role. So
I think most of the time a man gets upset about something is simply their own insecurities and recognizing that they are at fault.
yeah.
And they can't vocalize what is the emotion that is coming out.
100%.
Because we've talked about it before. We're bred to push those down.
Bred to push those down, and
there is no emotion.
We also have this just almost innate desire to be out and to be in conditions where we aren't comfortable. I mean, you think about, for me, I can't speak for everybody. When I'm under pressure is when I feel my best. It's uncomfortable, but I don't mind being under pressure. I don't mind, because the majority of husbands, men, dads, you know, that whatever that tier is that you want to encompass most people in, the majority of guys, when you say, hey, you got a lot on your plate, most men will just sit there and say, yeah, I'll figure it out. And because we have gotten so used to squash it down, take care of business, get it done. But that introspective part is the important part of being able to step out there and become a better person. Because if I'm better me, all those other things where I'm trying to be good at, I will be better at. And we lose sight of that sometimes as an umbrella almost.
Very much so. Very much so. I love it.
I don't like this macro beans, but I'm going to put us on the spot. Solo shows or guest experiences?
I like how we do it. And you're not going to like my answer.
You're just punting. That's not.
I like having.
I think
I
you
like
do.
having the combination of both.
Man, I love it.
It's. I think. I mean, I sent you a message today that said I didn't want to book somebody today because I wanted just a raw, honesty, authentic show for us, right? And I was really hoping that it worked out that way, but I was really hoping you didn't have a whole bunch of topics.
Oh, dang it. You should have said something.
But, you know, it worked out because we went down our own little rabbit holes.
Sure. And that's the flexibility when we're here. So, I mean,
and we've gone through things now and made it to where, you know, it's just a raw show, right? So, now look, I mean, I love having guests on the show.
Yeah.
That's why we started this show.
Right.
Was to impact the community and help people grow their businesses and tell their story. But it's nice just to talk about life.
It is.
And sports.
100%.
And, you know, pick on each other and, you know.
And an awesome golf tournament. Something that you're really feeling your feels on.
You know, and promote what we do.
Well, right? You walked in, hit the door, and you're like, hang on.
We're starting with gratitude.
I got gratitude today, boys.
That was awesome.
You know, like, but that's what I'm saying. Like that part of the show to me is incredible, right?
I think one helps build the other, and vice versa. There's an authenticity that comes between you and I being able to do this, so that when we do have a guest in, they aren't getting just this. Oh, look, they put on their game face. No, like this.
So let's ask the audience, what's your feedback? Do you want these guys?
Trent did turn the camera off me. I'm pretty sure.
I put it on the wide shot. We got the wide shot.
Or do you like the guests that we've had on.
It has, man.
But
If
what-
I can
what would you
interject, literally every single consultation type thing I do with potential shows, I always encourage a rotation,
Sure.
like 100% of the time. And even in my case, doing the STP pod the way I've done it, it's all like it's 98% interviews, and there's a part of me that wishes and hopes to like kind of make adjustment,
Break it up a little bit.
just even the solo episodes are really
You should do
tough.
a monologue.
A monologue, yeah, off the cuffy, yeah. But nah, there's
He
a
didn't
part
like
of
my
me.
idea.
STP with Trent Benson. And just go.
Right.
I've done a few of them, and it's not my favorite, but more of like a round table or just like not just a straight one-on-one interview or a one like me asking a couple people something. Like I'd always encourage people to have a rotation, and
dig it.
I
Yeah.
1,000% support the way y'all been doing it because it's working. And yeah, it's important to have both. So
Well, and you hit the nail right there. It's working. Like it's hard to say, oh, it's just this, it's just that.
Yeah, because in reality, it doesn't matter what we want.
Right. But it's working. And it's
honestly,
been an
it
absolute
is
blast.
what you want. Let me stop you there too. Tim Ferriss, the Podfather. He said he literally always gets people like, thank you so much for what you do. You bring in these world-renowned experts on whatever topic. He's like, I don't do that for anyone else. I do it for me.
Yeah.
And that stuck with me. Like, that was back when I was trying
I've
to
seen a handful of guys that get some of those bigger names, and they're like, cool, I appreciate y'all's input, but this is what interests me.
Yeah.
And
100%.
they want to go down some of those rabbit trails and do whatever.
Yeah,
So it's,
that
Look,
stuck
I
with
would
me.
say yes. I agree with you on that. Like, I mean, I've reached out to a couple of other people. I love having the local people on.
Yeah.
It really excites me to see local businesses on the show, and entrepreneurs and leaders and all the things, all the people that we've had. But it's also, it's also cool to have those people that are, across the pond. They're on the other side of the country, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Or people you look up to.
Yeah.
And that's what the
Yeah.
beauty of podcasting too. Like you can reach out to whoever and be
Yeah.
like, hey, jump on my pod.
Yeah.
Versus, hey, can I go to lunch with you? Probably not.
right. Yeah, exactly.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably
can I
not.
pick your brain? No.
Yeah.
Can you
No.
jump on the podcast? Same thing. But
Before we hit our Friday feel good, which by the way, this is funny. I had a couple students today. I'm gonna tell myself. They look at me and they're like, "Nice hat," and I'm like, "All right, I'm the butt of a joke here, right?" And I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And I said, "What?" And one or two more start giggling. One or two more start giggling. And I was like, "All right, look, y'all are having fun at my expense, and I got no problem with that." I said, "But let me giggle too, like, let me in on
laugh
it."
with me.
One of them proceeds to come up and show me a picture that was starting to make the rounds of 3, 4, 5 years ago. That was my profile picture on Facebook. And I was like, my first thought was, I had everything private. How'd y'all get this? To which I found out that when your profile picture being what's out there is never the private part.
Right.
Well, learned that today. And I don't have any inappropriate pictures. It's just like I thought I had it just all wrapped up neat and tight, right? Like a pretty little package. Here you go. Well, then one of them starts tracking it down. And because at one point I had Facebook made me a digital creator or I signed up for it, I clicked it. I don't know. This is probably when I was getting in over my head. You can see anything I made public, which was what I did with my Friday Feel Goods. Okay. And 3 or 4 of them were like, you should do that again. And I just chuckled.
I do it every week.
Joke's on you. They hadn't stopped. So, anyhow,
Just
but
going out in a different form.
format change, boys. One of them did say I need to have a podcast. And I was like, I like the way you think.
You're in love.
Did you give them the link?
No, I'm going to make them dig for it. Oh, I guarantee they'll find it. I got no doubts about that. They'll
That's
be fine.
hilarious.
Boys, when you find it, reach out to me.
That's it. I can get y'all free lunch at Single Tree.
Subscribers. Just
That's
went up.
it. So, kind of falling back on what we did earlier, you're running a business, you're an entrepreneur.
Yep.
How do you gauge the right time to make a significant change? And what brought this about was last week you hyped up pretty good very well, I should say, your switch to all tallow for frying. And I'm sure that from a business standpoint, you've got expense costs, you've got this or that, whatever that is part of those changes. And it's a fairly subtle change. Nobody would have known if you had done it unless somebody's like, hey, fries taste a little different or whatever. How do you go about gauging that time? Or is it just one of those things where you pull the trigger and let it rip and just see where it goes?
So for those of you who know me, and know me on a personal level, I am 1000% always trying to do more, get better, and be better. I never, ever, ever want to be stagnant. I don't think, what was it? Bear Bryant, I think, said, you know, we're going to try to achieve perfection and land on excellence, and we'll be doing pretty good.
Nice.
I don't believe that if you own any business and you get to a point to where, and not even just business, just in life in general, if you stop learning, if you stop trying to be better than you were yesterday, then you die. Like you're done. Like you just, that stagnant water is the death of any hopes and dreams that you have of being a better human being, a better person, a better husband, a better businessman, a better father, whatever it is.
Right.
And nothing has ever been good enough for me. It's just been kind of an innate nature in my soul of it. I'll never forget. Before I started my own company, I ended up being a regional vice president for Bar Louie. I had the whole Southeast. But when I first started there, I was a director of operations, and I had a restaurant in Missouri, St. Louis. That restaurant, that bar, was the number one bar of all Bar Louie's. Okay. It did more revenue, was the highest revenue bar in the company. It achieved more profit than any other bar in the company. But we have a thing called flow through. And flow through means you did X amount of dollars in sales last year, and you did X amount of dollars in sales this year. You did X amount of dollars in profit last year and X amount of dollars in profit this year. So if you did, just call it $5 million in revenue in prior year and $1 million, these are not accurate numbers,
sure,
but $1 million in profit last year, right? This year you did $5,500,000 in sales and $1,100,000 in profit.
Mm-hmm.
You took that other $500,000 and spent it on shit you didn't need to.
Right.
So you actually lost $400,000 this year in comparison to what you did last year. So yeah, you made $1 million, right? And all of these other directors and all these VPs and C-suite restaurant executives,
yeah,
all the big wigs, board of directors, everybody is going, oh, high five, y'all, you're doing great. Yeah, awesome. Oh, keep it up. And I'm pissed. I'm honestly mad. And I had a meeting, and I ranked all of my restaurants. And I didn't rank you on how many dollars you brought in. That was part of it.
Sure.
Like that was one of the categories, sales volume. But I took all of my restaurants, and you got, for sales volume, you got X amount of points, right? For food costs, you got X amount of points. For profit, you got X amount, all the way down, right? So, and this restaurant was last in my market because they performed the worst. They didn't have great costs. I didn't manage their flow through at all. They had the most overhead. They had the highest turnover. They had, just boom, 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 all the way down the line, right? And the general manager of that restaurant comes to me and says, after the meeting, and says, "Hey, I don't understand why you beating me up so much. Like, we're the number one sales restaurant in the company. We're the number one profit restaurant in the company. Why, I'm literally the best restaurant in the company.
Right.
And you're saying I'm the worst in your market. And I said, well, I don't have all the restaurants in the company's numbers, but you are the worst in my market. Wow. And you're the worst because you are just allowing this restaurant to produce whatever profit it wants to produce, and you're not managing the business and trying to get better.
Right.
Right. So for me, if I'm taking a restaurant that's doing $3 million and it starts out with $500,000 in profit, and I turn that $3 million restaurant into a restaurant that's doing $950,000 in profit, and this $5 million restaurant is not incrementally increasing their profit, right? Then they're just pissing away money.
Right.
They're not trying to be better. So in my world, it's always about being better than last year. And the GM and I got into a pretty heated discussion, and I flat out told her, if you don't want to be better than you were last year, yesterday, last week, last month, etc., you're not a good fit on my team.
Right.
And that's okay. I'm fine with that. I'm not mad at you for not wanting to do that, because it's hard. It's really hard to wake up every morning and go, I'm going to do more than I did yesterday to make my restaurant, my life, my family better. And that's hard. It's hard to look your kids in the face and go, you hit 3 buckets yesterday. Good job. You need to hit 4 today.
Right.
It's hard to work 15 hours and want to come home and talk to your kids or your wife or whoever and have a full-on engaging conversation. That's hard, right? We all work hard. We all do a lot of things.
Right.
Those things are hard. So for me, I take that into my restaurant. I take that into my personal life. And it's amazing. We've talked about a lot about accountability and circles and all of that today. And it's funny that you talked about going back to the gym this week, because my wife literally looked at me the other day that our gym membership is under her name, and she made a comment in passing, and she was just kidding, but there was some truth to it.
Yeah.
She goes, you need to start going back to the gym that I pay for.
Uh-huh.
Right. But it's the truth, right? I mean, my entire life, I've always been an athletic individual.
Right.
I've always worked out. I've always tried to be better, tried to work hard, tried to be in shape. And since, my kidney stones and my gallbladder and the restaurant and the excuse after this excuse after that excuse, somebody quit or we let somebody go or whatever. You make excuses for those things, and I think in the restaurant it's the exact same thing. Right. So we are trying to get better and better every single day. And if you've ever eaten fried foods that are fried in beef tallow 100%, the amount of flavor that is impacted into those foods is absolutely incredible. It costs more.
Yep.
It's better for you. The health benefits, if you eat fried foods out of 100% animal fats, you are 27% less likely to have a heart attack.
That's wild.
It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. The health benefits, and there's
I saw just of the beef tallow. I watched a guy making his own sunscreen from beef tallow.
Look, the things you can do with tallow. You can make candles. You can make sunscreens. You can make soaps. You can make hundreds of different things.
If anybody cares, beef tallow as the base for your roux for white gravy over biscuits, I prefer over bacon grease, and it is like just
it's good.
It's right. It's got a smoother, and it doesn't. Forgive me for that, but it doesn't have that burned flavor.
Yeah.
It's got, I guess it's got such a higher smoke point or whatever, but it really just, it cooks well. I mean, that's all it is.
Seed oils and vegetable oils are man-made and cheaper.
What's the on Meet the Fockers? Show me the tits on a mouse or on an almond or whatever it is. You know, there's no almond milk. You know,
Right. But that's what I'm saying. It's the exact same thing, right? Look, the number one fast food chain in America, McDonald's.
You sure?
Okay, one of the
There you go.
largest fast food chains in America.
Based on revenue, it was
McDonald's.
Chick-fil-A.
Okay, well,
So last year, let me be. It's last year.
that's the Lord's chicken, man. Come on. let's not tassel with that. And they're only open 6 days a week.
All right.
So, but McDonald's, that's all they fried their stuff in was beef tallow. It wasn't until I think 20 years ago, 25 years ago, I don't remember the exact date, they changed to seed oils because of the amount of money they can save.
Sure.
Right. So, and look, I'll tell you exactly. For me to fill up one fryer, one of my fryers, I can fill up that fryer for $25 with a seed oil.
Right.
Okay. With beef tallow, it cost me $80.
Okay.
Now I'm going to get a longer shelf life out of the beef tallow. It's going to last a little bit longer.
Yep.
So it's not dollar for dollar.
Right.
Right. It's not a almost $60 difference, but it's still going to cost me probably $40 more.
Sure.
And that's every week.
Sure.
And I have 2 different fryers, so that's $80 every single week that it's going to cost me more.
Right.
Right. You add that up over 52 weeks. That's a lot of money.
Right.
I'm banking on the fact that it's healthier for you and the flavor is just unbelievably different.
Right.
My wings, I think, are phenomenal. In beef tallow, they're next level.
Gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really, really good. So, long answer.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
But it's literally just about. It doesn't matter. There's not a time.
Right.
It's just every day. If there's something that I can do that gets better, my team gets better.
Yeah.
They get a little bit stronger, and I can focus on other things and start continuously tweaking that stuff. We're good. Let's make it happen.
Side note, I saw this literally right before I walked in here today. You're talking about just how companies change ingredients or whatever it may be. And it's almost always cost related. I mean, I'm not dumb. The original Gatorade had 6 ingredients. Water, salt, potassium, lemon, and maybe it was only 5 ingredients. Hey, funny me, I took a screenshot because I wanted to bring this up.
Sugar.
Yeah, sugar. Yeah, it was glucose. Oh shit! Yeah, that was 5 ingredients: water, sugar, salt, potassium, lemon juice. Was the original Gatorade, and now for me, Gatorade's almost so syrupy, and it just but if you look at that list of what's in there now, it's a litany
not
of
5
things.
ingredients.
No, it's not, and that goes back to, you ever seen that thing where it says the biggest lie ever told or whatever nutrition was count calories instead of ingredients. 90 calories is healthier than 2 ingredients or whatever. Well, you can dumb a lot of stuff down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, and I've had to really focus on that. And so this week I've gone to a more, I'm going to say clean eating. My kind of general given rule is if it was alive at some point, I'll consume it. Mm-hmm. And I know for me, that piece of bread, I feel a little guilty about it earlier. I was like, that wasn't alive. But,
Yeah,
so.
it was.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't?
What was? The
It
flour?
was a plant.
Yeah, the flour was at one point. The rest of the stuff to bring into it wasn't. So, and I'm not harping on that. I'm going
Maybe
back to
not that bread.
right, but you get my point though, right?
Right, yeah.
Simple bread should.
Yeah.
Simple bread is
Yeah.
what, flour, oil, and salt
Yeah.
or whatever. But anyway, point being though, there is a consistency in being simpler. There is a consistency in maintaining those things. And sometimes I feel like even in business, simpler does make you better. If you master the one thing, was it last week or 2 weeks ago, we were talking about some of these menus that got just so heavy. and then going back to a simpler menu. Get good at these basics, and that will carry you a lot farther. And so, but that bringing up the change in business, I've often wondered that, like, from a business owner standpoint, because like there's a lot of times when you see different people do a big thing. Is that going to pay off? What if he's been sitting on that for 2 years?
Look, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
Right. Sure.
Right?
Sure.
I mean,
that's that way with anything.
I mean, it's one of those things. You think about, you think about technology is the same thing.
Yeah.
Right. We went back and forth for a long time about whether or not we should pick up different technologies for the restaurant, and they cost more money.
Sure.
Right. So that's a cost that we take on the front end. And if it doesn't pay off, then what?
Then what?
Then you just lost all that money.
Right.
That's what. Yeah. I love it. Yeah.
Your Friday feel good, guys.
Let's make it happen.
Forgiveness is oftentimes a box or a punishment we put ourselves in. And we are so worried about what other people think and they did me wrong, or I've got to get back at this. Give yourself a gift and a blessing of forgiving someone else. Don't withhold that forgiveness. Allow yourself to heal from whatever that may be, or maybe you just need to move past it and never pick it up again. Don't let that be the hook that you get hooked with of not forgiving someone. Make sure forgiveness is part of your life. Y'all know what to do. Find somebody you know. Tell them you love them.
Good one. Good one. Look, guys, as always, we appreciate you joining the show today. If you want to get involved, please feel free to reach out to me. You can call me at 615-307-0120. Email me at charlie@singletreebbq.com. DM me on social media, whatever, LinkedIn, Twitter, X, whatever they're all called now, Facebook.
But there's a way to get a hold of you. Leave a message at the restaurant.
Yeah, my new favorite saying is, "I'm kind of like Deion Sanders. I ain't hard to find."
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm weirdly available like Ryan Reynolds. So hey,
wow, there you go.
Right. So look, we appreciate it. You guys know what to do. Like, share, subscribe. Tell everybody you know to follow us. And until next time,
y'all be good.
Thanks for joining us today. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, leave us a 5-star review and come see us at the restaurant.